if you were to describe the New York City dating culture in one word, what would it be?
Unserious.
Definitely roller coaster.
What do you think is the biggest challenge of dating in New York?
I think getting out of the app cycle. Those apps are designed to have you on them forever.
Probably like hookup culture. I feel like no one actually wants a relationship.
A funder is an older man who loves young women.
Recently, New York City was ranked as the worst city to date in, so we're gonna put that to the test today by asking New Yorkers what dating is actually like in the city.
I'm Jag. I am 28 and I've been living in this city 3.5, almost 4 years.
My name is Dani. I'm 23 years old and I've been here for like 6 months.
I'm Carly. I'm 30 and I've been here for 8 years.
My name is Ethan. I've been living in the city for 4 years and I'm 21.
I'm Sophie, I'm 20. I've been in the city for 3 years now.
My name's Nicole. I'm 18 years old and I've been living in the city for 4 days.
I'm Kathleen. I'm 18 years old and I've been living in the city for like 5 months.
What's your relationship status?
I am single.
I have a long-term boyfriend.
Yeah, and I am single.
We're dating.
Okay, awesome. What has your experience been with New York City dating?
I was in a relationship when I first moved to the city. Been out of that for a few years now. I think it's really easy to meet a lot of people in New York, especially at this age. I think people are looking to meet other people, but because there's so many people and because so many people have so many different things going on in their lives, it can be a bit difficult to find like the right person or to develop like substantial connection with someone.
A lot of funders. A funder is an older man who loves young women. And they have a lot of money and they like to go out and they like to spend it on girls, but you don't want to date a funder. You just have to beware because it's not someone you want to be involved with.
We met while I was a sophomore. She was a freshman through a Korean Student Association. We've been friends, like best friends, I think, for like 3 years, and we started dating pretty recently, like 3 months.
I guess for us it was a lot easier to meet because we're both students at Columbia, and I think there were a lot of spaces like clubs or classes that we had together. But I would imagine, I've heard from people that it's like hard to date in New York City, and I can imagine like if we didn't have a campus or like a student organization, like have to go like out of my way to find people, like go to bars or like dating apps. So I imagine it's hard.
And what do you think is the biggest challenge of dating in New York?
I think getting out of the app cycle, like small, single, isolated events, and then nothing going anywhere, going on single dates and then never meeting someone else again, going through talking stages, like texting people and never following through, and it's difficult, I think.
Yeah. I think organic dating is pretty hard. Like it's hard to meet people, especially if you're not a college student, if your like life is just like work and then like home. Also, I think there's just so many people in New York City, you're gonna have a lot of misses and like very few hits. And so I think a lot of people, from what I hear, just get discouraged really easily.
There's so much opportunity in New York. It's hard to trust, and like that might just be me, but
No, the trust thing is real because like you don't know who you're dating, which I think is so scary.
and there's a lot of options and flavors out there.
Now I'm dating someone that I just like we're probably forever, which is kind of crazy. But I feel like I dated all these people having like that initial thought as well, and you just start catering to like what you like. I would not be with him today if I hadn't dated all those people because I didn't feel like understand what I liked and I didn't like, or what you think you like, which changes through all of your phases here.
For me personally, I would say just understanding how a relationship fits in my life. I think to my earlier point, we have so many things going on. Me in particular, I have just like, there's work, there's family, there's, hobbies, interests. So it's like, how does understanding how another person fits into that, I think is something that I don't want to say struggled, but it took me a while to understand. It takes time and effort and trial and error, and I think that's been like the biggest challenge.
And if you were to describe the New York City dating culture in one word, what would it be?
Unserious.
Definitely roller coaster.
Hinge, messy.
Yes, everyone's on dating apps.
Busy. It's always like going really quickly. I hear people like, I have a date next weekend, the day after, and like people just like very chronically. It's very fast paced, I think.
I would say inorganic. Like you have to make a lot of effort to meet people, and it's hard to sustain that effort because everyone has shit to do.
Subway, but not Subway. No way. But but not Subway, like the underground, like Subway, the sandwich shop, because you can just add anything you want and like you can find anything you want. But in the end, you think it's your dream sandwich, and then you take a bite and you're like, wow, this is soggy and disgusting.
That was the best description I've ever heard in my entire life.
Wait, no, that's so good. I'm using that. If you guys have dated in other cities, would you say dating in New York is easier or harder, and why?
I actually have a theory on this. I feel like everyone in every city they live in are like, this is the hardest city to date in, and I just feel like dating is hard in general.
I think it's easier in New York a little bit because there's so much to do and there's a lot of people. I've dated in a small town before, and I've dated in like midtown size, and I've also dated in another side like New York, and I feel like here there are so many different types of like people and like pods you can sink yourself into. It's so big, and then there's so many things you can do. It's easier here for sure.
I have lived in other cities, but I haven't dated in other cities. But I imagine it's easier in New York because, again, some people here, some people like to go out. I think some people stay single for longer in New York, I'd assume, versus other cities. And it's also like the greatest city in the world, so I think all the best people are here.
I feel like there's more people here, so there's more options.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's limited options because I think everyone is so different here. Like, not everyone's looking for the same thing. And I feel like since everyone is on dating apps, like, I don't know, I just feel like it's not what people are used to coming from like a smaller town.
I think you can meet a lot more people. I think it's difficult to make meaningful connections in a way. You can like have these people on your phone, you know them by name, but past like seeing them once for a dinner, it's hard to get anything else out of that.
I think for me, I came from the suburbs, so like, and also I had the benefit of being like younger in high school and stuff. I think the benefit of New York is like there's so many people. Like, I think in the suburbs you kind of like, you grow up with the same people. It's like you see the same people from like kindergarten to like high school, and so you end up in the similar dating pool. But I think at least one thing I can appreciate about New York is there are always people like coming and going, and you'll be able to like find someone. But I think it takes a lot more work. You have to do that inorganic first date, like how are you, what's your favorite color, a lot more than like someone you just like grew up with and you kind of like know better.
And lastly, do you have any advice for people trying to find love in the city?
Something I like to say to my friends and to myself is I think the grass is greenest wherever you water it. So don't half-ass situationships, relationships, whatever. Like, give everything like a good try.
Be brave and like let your walls down, because that's the only way to find connection.
Stop looking.
Okay. Stop looking.
Just because like it'll come to you.
Yeah.
Like when you're ready to receive and accept love and like give love the way you want to give.
Definitely.
And like date in the meantime, but like don't look for love, like let it come to you, because when you look for it, how like true is that?
Find communities that you want to be a part of. I don't think you should date for the sake of dating. It's hard to find relationships through like things that are specifically tailor-made for you to find people. I think those apps are designed to have you on them forever. Find places that you think that you value. You can exercise kind of the skills and the things that you're interested in, and find people that you could have like a common thread with.
I think very similar. You have to find like a third space. I think you're more likely to find a relationship when you're looking for like community and just like friends. If you're having that issue with like having inorganic relationships, what are the people and spaces around you, and what can you build from there, as opposed to like being like, I'm gonna go and look for a first date and do a million different first dates. I think that works, but also it's not for everybody. I think it's a lot harder. Look for like just like friends, communities, like join like, I don't know, like a run club or something. I know a lot of people do that. Like find like a hobby, go to like a bar or like literally like a cafe and just like meet people organically through there. And I think there's so many people in New York, you're gonna find something or like do something there.
True. And like if all else fails, you're still doing the hobby you love and like meeting friends.
Enjoy your life first, and then I think it'll come along.
Yeah.
No, that's really good advice. Thank you guys both so much for your time. Also,